A leak test measures how well the charge air cooler retains pressure in the cooler core. This is accomplished by plugging the inlet side of the cooler and pressurizing the core from a regulated air supply connection on the outlet side of the cooler. Refer to the Troubleshooting and Repair Manual for the specific steps and specifications for this procedure. To check the pressure drop across the charge air cooler, compare the pressure at the elbow on the turbocharger compressor outlet and the pressure in the intake manifold. The pressure reading at the turbocharger outlet can be taken using a fluke meter and a pressure transducer. The pressure reading in the intake manifold is taken using the pressure sensor and Insight. Before performing this test, make sure that the fluke meter reading and the boost pressure reading are coordinated by checking the readings without starting the engine and making sure that both readings are approximately the same. With the engine at rated speed and load, the pressure drop at the intake manifold cannot exceed the specification of 6 inches of mercury. Confirm the efficiency of the charge air cooler by measuring the difference between ambient air temperature and intake air temperature in the intake manifold. Install a thermocouple near the air filter inlet to measure ambient air temperature. Utilize Insight to read the intake air temperature. However, before using Insight for this test, check the intake air temperature reading when the engine is cold to be sure that the sensor and the probe readings are consistent. Perform a road test with the engine at peak power and a vehicle speed of 30 miles per hour or greater. Record the intake manifold temperature and the ambient air temperature. Calculate the differential temperature by subtracting the ambient air temperature from the intake manifold temperature. The maximum differential temperature is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. If the temperature differential is greater than the specifications, check the charge air cooler for dirt and debris on the fins and clean them as necessary. Then, check between the charge air cooler and radiator for debris. Some ISM engines are equipped with a 4-step wastegate controller. Let's take a look at a few of the unique operation characteristics for this component. When the intake manifold pressure is below 20 to 25 inches of mercury, the ECM locks the solenoids in their current position. The ECM will not change the signal sent to the solenoids until the boost pressure increases above this level. If the intake manifold pressure is below 5 inches of mercury for a period of 2 minutes, the ECM deactivates both of the solenoids. If a 4-step wastegate controller failure is suspected, the solenoids can be disconnected. This causes the control block to default to Step 2 level of wastegate control. This provides the second lowest level of boost pressure. Although this limits the boost pressure, the vehicle may be operated until the problem can be corrected. The 4-step wastegate controller can be partially disassembled, washed, and blown dry. However, do not remove the orifices. In addition, do not insert any metal object into the orifices in an attempt to clean them.